Freedom Radio Hour. Live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Freedom Radio Hour. We're here on location at Southern Comfort, 501 Central Avenue, right here in East Orange, New Jersey. We just got treated to an amazing performance by the one and only Miss Dawn Tallman, sitting right here to my right.
Yes, indeed, right here. Live and in living color.
Yes, I'm sitting here next to my co-partner right here, Mr.
Eddie Nicholas. What up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan. We are so glad that you are here with us. And as Adam said, we are here rocking with the queen of gospel energy. And she's that and much more in a bag of chips and so much more, too.
I haven't heard that in ages, actually.
A bag of chips. Kettle chips. You know, oh my God. Where do we begin with Miss Dawn Tallman?
Well, I got to talk about it because we're just flying high from her tremendous live performance here at Southern Comfort. We have to talk about it. In the name of celebrating myself.
Yes.
Is that something that you had always been doing, like taking your career and finding moments to celebrate yourself, or did you learn that later on in your career?
I actually learned that later on. This is real life, going through some things and not feeling validated and not appreciating my own self until one day I had to learn to celebrate myself. So this is not even about a career, it's personal. So I had to learn to celebrate me and be okay with celebrating myself. So that's where that came from.
Well, I love you explaining that because I think people they just take that in and then move on. But I think you need to really take that in, what it means to celebrate yourself. The other thing that you really point out is the ability to choose happiness. And I didn't really get what that meant. Talk about what it means to actually choose happiness. It seems like a weird concept, but when you really think about it, it's very profound. Talk about that.
Okay, so we all know that you can be happy or sad, right? Yeah. So you have a choice. So I can just talk about myself. You know, this album that's coming, some of the songs really came from a really personal time, going through a divorce and going through things. And there was a time where I just was in this really dark place. And I always tell people, and it's like the light bulb came on, God, whatever you want to call it, I say God, said, listen, you have a choice. You can still be in the situation, but you don't have to stay there. Right. You can choose to be happy. It's really hard to do that, especially in this day and era when there's a lot going on around us in this world and the news every day is something bad going on, or in your personal life, you could be going through stuff, things ain't working out in your career, your family, whatever. But guess what? Even in that, you still have a choice. You don't got to walk around sad, feeling sorry for yourself, a pity party. Make a choice and be happy and push through. Like I say, put a smile on your face. Every day I have to sing to myself. When I'm going through something, when I sing that Happy, I sing that every day to myself. When there's a situation and I feel like it's going down, I sing that to myself.
I love that.
And and it's one thing that I can say that with you saying that, you have always been one whose songs have always been one of empowerment and encouragement.
Yeah.
And for myself as a personal friend, I'm always cherished the ability to be able to pick up the telephone when I'm going through something.
Right.
And you're there to give me those words of pushing forth.
That's right.
Again, like you say, you can be going through something, but at the same token, you can be happy because there's going to be celebration at the end of what you go through.
Come on here.
So, your songs are testimonial.
Listen, there's a line in Celebrate Myself where it says, shout out to Josh Milan, it said, these scars on me are badges of my journey. So when you see, you might not see physical scars, but there's things that happen to me along my way. You know what I'm saying? But that's a part of my process in my journey. You know what I mean? You see a battle scar, like if you see somebody who came home from the war and they have a scar, that might be bad, but they did that protecting our country. So that scar is a badge of his journey or of my journey. You know what I mean? And that all journeys are not good journeys, but you can make that choice and say, hey, you know what? I went through this, but I'm still going to make a choice, and I'm going to be happy.
Speaking of journeys,
Lord.
The start of Dawn Tallman. We did all of this evolve, taking us back 19 what? Circa.
71, no. Well, that's when I was born. No. So, no. Actually, I'm serious. My mother said when I was like 1 year old, so that was 72. She said that I would sing all the commercials on TV. I would be sitting on her lap or someone's lap, and a commercial would come on that I loved, and I would just stand in front of it. Now, y'all know me, so y'all know I rock. So she said I would stand in front of the TV and sing every commercial. And she said she knew that, you know, it was something special. But my first concert ever, I was 5 years old.
Okay.
And I did a concert at a church. And I was 5 years old, and it looked like it was 1 billion people out there. And I knew then, like that day, I really knew that this was something that I wanted to do. Like, I knew then at 5 that, wait a minute, I really do got something here. Like, I mean, I'm saying it now, but I couldn't articulate it like how I am now. But I knew by looking out at those people was crying and smiling. I was like, okay, so this is what I want to do. So that was the start of doing Tallman. And then, of course, growing up through school and all that kind of stuff, church, you already know.
Which is a lot of the foundation of the music that we do.
And it's still my foundation. I sing in church every Sunday. So still, you know. But, I mean, that's where the foundation, of course, was church. And then, of course, as you grow up, you try to venture off and to do other stuff.
Yeah, I also want... No, you're great. I also want to talk about the importance of using music as therapy, because one thing that we haven't talked about is, if we can be personal for a moment, some of the really personal things that you were going through growing up, and how you had a unique look about you, and how you had this powerful voice, and you even admitted at times that you were bullied, and that you dealt with difficult, challenging times. And did you know at the time that your voice was going to carry you through? And if not, what did you do to help yourself get through the bullying that was going on at the time?
You know, people always use the it's kind of cliche when they say music saved my life.
Yes.
But it is really true. Music saved Dawn Tallman's life.
Right.
And although I did have this disability with my eyes and the different looks, music is what really got me through. Even being bullied, even being, you know, treated a certain way through life. People saying you're too fat, you too whatever. And I said in that post that I walked by someone in school and they was like, she ugly, but she could sing. And that really did something to me. I said I went in the bathroom and I cried my eyes out. But then God spoke to me in that bathroom and he said, I made you. Like, I love you and I made you special. And I wiped my eyes and I walked out that bathroom like I was Tyra Banks.
Right.
And although the bullying didn't stop, you know, it didn't stop. But me knowing that I was special and that I had a gift, so I used to be like, well, I may be ugly, but I could sing, you know, like I turned it around.
Sure.
It still hurt, but I turned it around. Even going through life as a grown-up, growing up, music for me even now is still therapy. It has really gotten me through some really rough times. So that's why people say music saved my life or music is therapy. I really believe in music therapy.
Yes.
Even for medical, like stuff like that, it is really therapy.
Well, I love you saying that. Let's take a break. When we come back on the Freedom Radio Hour, we're going to break down more of this music business news, because we want to ask Dawn, her first major hit, what was that like in terms of the music business, and what kind of advice you can give to young starting Dawn Tallmans out there that are inspired by the queen of gospel energy herself, right here on the Freedom Radio Hour, your #1 source for music business news and trends from around the globe.
91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan. 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan.
The Heartbeat of Sudan.
And on the web at dwildmusicradio.com. Come back with us, y'all.
Freedom Radio Hour. Live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM.
What up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of 91.6 FM. We're so gracious and we're happy to be down here at Southern Comfort at 501 Central Avenue in Orange, New Jersey.
Fantastic
of all
food.
places. Yes, wonderful food. Southern food, baby. And we're here with the queen of gospel energy, the one and only Miss Dawn Tallman. And of course, I'm here with my knowledgeable, wonderful, fantastic co-host. Yeah, this guy, the one and only Mr. Who?
Mr. Adam Cruz, and we're live and direct right here on the Freedom Radio Hour. We want to jump right back in because I loved your story about using music as therapy in terms of dealing with, when you were younger, dealing with things like bullying and challenges in your life. Now, let's fast forward a little in time. You are experiencing your first major hit, which was a record called Feel It.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you're talking about how you use music as therapy, and you would wipe those tears and you would really use that voice. Yeah. And this song that was a major hit, the title is Feel It. I wonder if there's any coincidence there, you know? Mel Sharon at West End Records used to always say, nothing happens by accident. And Dawn Tallman and I had a lucky friendship with him over the years. He's not here with us anymore. Mel. Yes, but do you feel like the lyrical content over the years, especially around that first major hit record, Feel It?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you were channeling some of those obstacles in your life coming up, or how did that come about, that hit?
Actually, absolutely. You know, it's so funny. I've actually never thought about it that way until you just said that. See, there you go. No, when I think about the words, I can't remember all the words, but I remember saying, like, follow me into a place where there's no pain and no fear, a place where you can go and relieve yourself. So, wow, okay, Dawn, go ahead. So that was an escape. So it's almost like, let's go to this place of music. You can let go of everything and let's just feel the groove. Let's forget about what's going on over here, and you gotta feel it.
So what was it like having a hit?
For me at that time, it was like, whoa.
And what year are we talking about?
What was that, like 96?
Yeah. Okay,
like
96?
95, like 95, 96. Okay. Yeah. And I mean, for me, it was, well, you know, I'll be honest. Back then, I still felt unworthy.
Did you?
I did. I just was still like, wow, me, God? You know, like, this is really happening? Mm-hmm. Like, I was happy, but there was still a part of me that was like, I'm still unworthy. Wow. But I was still, every weekend, gigging somewhere, music being played on MTV, getting fat royalty checks, because that's when I stepped out and I wrote that song.
Right. Okay.
So that was like kind of my first writing venture, because I was even afraid to write.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was afraid. I was like, I'm corny, I can't, you know, whatever. And I sat down and said,
self-doubt.
Yep, but I sat and I pushed through, and that song was a hit.
Wow. And I'm having visions of like stretch limos picking you up. And you were talking before over dinner about how some of the different audiences, like you would go to like the Hunkle Bunkers and Sayreville's, and then you would go to sort of different clubs. Yeah. What was that like? Did you have to were the treatments and the sort of clientele different as you performed?
Way different. I mean, first of all, I was being picked up every weekend in a limousine. I mean, every weekend. My neighbors used to be like, who is this lady? Like, every weekend I was somewhere at a club. I mean, it was like the VIP treatment, the red carpet. I mean, that was like my real first experience of like, ooh, this is what the music business is really like, you know? But I still remain humble. I never got a big head, even because I still felt unworthy still. Do you know what I mean? Inside, I still felt like this is cool, but I'm still not, you know? I was happy about it, but but the treatment was, the clubs, first of all, the whole scene, those big giant clubs. What was that club, Limelight?
Yes.
I performed there. Oh, wow. I was scared though, because that was I was praying like, Jesus, please don't strike me. That's how church started out. I'm serious. I was like, I'm scared to sing in here. Like, this is a church. I'm looking behind, seeing Jesus looking at me, you know.
Lightning bolts ain't coming through the ceiling.
But I mean, it was the experience was awesome. It was like people were like at my feet. You know what I mean? Like the song was, because it really went mainstream, like MTV and all these other, you know, big places. So I was literally traveling, doing press. I mean, I was doing stuff I've never even dreamed of, you know? Yeah, so it was amazing.
That basically was your preparation for what where you're at now. And, you know, moving forward from that song, you've had so many others to basically present day, whereas just last year, you just had a Billboard, was it 2 years ago?
2 years,
an international Billboard hit.
That's right.
That was worldwide. And you've had several other songs that have appeared on Billboard.
Yes. But not a number, this was a number one.
And tell us about that one. That was done with, I believe, Bob Sinclair.
Bob Sinclair. So, you know, I have to share the story because this is going to really bless somebody. So, at that time, I was saying no to all kinds of, because I was working on this album with Josh, and I just really wanted to focus and didn't want to be flooded in the scene. You know how it can be when you got 35 records out at one time. That's not cute. So, excuse me, I was saying no to everybody. Even if I needed the money, I got to keep it real. This is what's going to bless someone. And I was saying no. I was saying no, I'm not. Other producers, different people. And the minute that I said I'm saying no, that's when Bob Sinclair's people reached out to me. Wow. And I've always wanted to work with him. And I've always said that, but it just didn't happen. But I guess just the stars, the universe,
the cosmos,
just aligned.
Everything aligned.
It just aligned. And when I said, God, I'm saying no matter what the money, I just want to just sit until, you know, whatever. That's when this call came. Still, listen, then felt still a little unworthy.
Wow, even then?
Even then, because he was working with other people. I'm not going to name names, but there was other people that he was working with. And I'm like, well, he's probably going to put that song out first. Like, he's just going to do this song. And then, unbeknownst, as they say to me, I get the call that this song is, like, huge. It was in number one in Italy for 3 months straight.
Wow, that's so amazing.
I mean, over Usher, Madonna, like all these mainstream, Justin Bieber, it sat at number one for 3 months. And then it wasn't here first. It was released in Italy.
Right.
So Glenn Thornton and I, and shout out to Brad LeBeau promotion, we came up with this, let's license this over here.
Which to me was a perfect
idea.
Yes.
Perfect suggestion for y'all to come up with that.
Yeah, because it was like, wait a minute, it's doing well over there, and although you guys had it and you loved it, it still wasn't here. You know what I mean? So of course we reached out to Bob, and everybody was cool with it, because, and that's also saying something about who I am and who we are, because he trusted us to say with this record to say, hey, you guys are gonna go do something with it, and he probably didn't even know it was gonna do that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So we licensed exclusively on Slag Records here, and Brad LeBeau from promotion took it, and that record, they said that record was the fastest, I forgot the exact words, the way that it moved on the charts. And they said that was like history for them. Wow. Like that it moved
so quickly,
and everybody was on this record. So it went to number one. Like it was just crazy.
And, you know, and then we look at it, considering that song was not what we're accustomed to hearing Dawn Tallman sing on the soulful tip.
Right, exactly.
So that was something totally strange to, I guess, a lot of people in the house scene, but not strange to us that know you in the dance community.
Exactly, because the dance community is so much bigger than just the soulful side, and you know, there's different sides. You know, I've been blessed to be able to sing, have a career in both ends, you know what I mean? And still be loved by both. Sometimes people make a mistake and they think, oh, the grass is greener here, and then they forget about over here, and then, you know, no. So I just was blessed to be able to kind of do both and have fans on all sides, you know what I mean?
You know, and then on top of that, speaking of that blessing, we throw in the gospel aspect of it.
Oh,
you know, your roots, you know, and all of that has just come together. How do you balance that out, especially when you have those folks that are in the church that still have that kind of quandary, when you have those of us that sing in the church, but we still have our foot in the secular door with music as well?
Oh, child, that don't bother me no more. It used to, you know, it used to bother me because, you know, and I'm not mad. I'm not even mad, though. You have the old saints, you know, they don't know any better, and they just like, oh, you got one foot in the church and one in the world, you know. But for me, this is a gift, and this is a ministry for me. There are people who will never step foot in a church. So God blessed me to be able to come to this club or different clubs around the world and spread the good news, and people be set free. You know. see people being healed from things and man, y'all don't even know the testimonies that I've gotten from like certain songs. You want to talk? Because I'll keep going.
No, listen. I love to hear what you say. Let's take a break. When we come back, I want to get to the nitty gritty about the music business. Like, what did Dawn do to try to make sure that her coin was coming in where it needed to, and some of the hard lessons that you learned over the years. Right here on the Freedom Radio Hour, your #1 source for music business news and trends from around the globe.
91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan. We'll be right back.
Yeah, and on the web at dwopmusicradio.com.
Freedom Radio Hour.
And we're back live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan, and on the web at dwopmusicradio.com. You're deep in the zone right here on the Freedom Radio Hour, your #1 source for music business news and trends from around the globe. We're broadcasting live from Southern Comfort, 501 Central Avenue, right here, East Orange, New Jersey. Amazing food, amazing clientele. Shout out to Marcus. And so we want to get right back to it because I want to talk about the nitty-gritty. We are a music business show, Dawn, and I want to know, when you were dealing with these major hits like Feel It, like Feel the Vibe, records like You Are Why, records like For Me on Honeycomb Music, I want to talk about what you're doing to make sure that your affairs are together, because you know there are new and aspiring artists that are out there that are watching you, listening to you, and that are gaining knowledge by what you share in terms of your story.
Right.
You've broken down here about the emotional, spiritual connection, how you use that in your lyrics, how you use music as therapy, and how that opened the doors to really some of your biggest audiences.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the business part of it.
Okay.
What did you do to make sure that you had your business tight? What I mean is, what did you do to make sure that your titles on ASCAP or BMI or CSAC were up to date? What did you do to make sure that whatever monies that were owed to you out in the street, so to speak, were brought back to you in some way? What did you learn?
I kind of had to learn the hard way.
I think we all did.
Yeah. So when I first started, I didn't know jack.
Right.
You know, I'm writing songs, doing stuff, and first of all, I wasn't copywriting nothing. You know, I'm just saying, you know, this is gonna help somebody too. That now. So I really didn't know. So I just was writing songs and just getting paid off of stuff and didn't know anything until someone introduced me to saying, hey, you need publishing and you need, you know. So once I got introduced to CSAC, which was a whole bunch of years ago, which I love, shout out to CSAC.
I got to get signed up for that one.
Yeah, you do, Charles. That's okay, but
you know, ASCAP, BMI, but CSAC.
No, CSAC is quite cute.
Earlier.
They do.
CSAC was one of the ones that paid earlier for performances, for your actual
Listen,
performances.
real quick sidebar. CSAC is smaller also, and they really take care of their people because their roster is so small. It's big but small. Do you understand what I'm? So you can call there and they know your name. They know it's not like, you know, nothing against ASCAP, but it's like kind of so many people, you're almost a number. And if you don't got no big hits, they don't care. I know someone who was on CSAC and for 5 years they didn't get anything, and I was getting something, and then come to find out the people didn't even register their, like, it was horrible. Nope. Right. They don't care. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, back to so once I kind of learned, and even then it was still overwhelming. I was kind of like, I just want to sing. I don't care about the, you know, I don't care about the business. It was just too overwhelming and just kind of, but once I learned, because they call me calculator lady, once I learned about the coins, you know, of getting my money, I was on it. You know, so I went and did the CSAC thing and did the Sound Exchange and did the Bucks Music in London. But even now, I still don't know everything. So I just learned that there's something else that I'm missing out on. So guess what? I'm on top of that now to get that other, because people don't understand publishing and all this like royalties and mechanicals and publishing. It's very difficult. So you have to do your homework.
Due diligence.
You have to do your homework. You know, I was laughing about you and saying, I'm just going to watch you, you know, couldn't tell all the info. But you really have to study to show your own self. To learn. It might be overwhelming, but this will help you because it's not called music business for no reason. And trust me, it's really business and then the music first. So.
And sometimes I think we get it twisted. We do the music first, and we take our time doing the business aspect of it. When the business needs to be done.
You really can't. I mean, I remember going to the New Music Seminar. You was there with us one year, and I remember them talking about when you're in a studio and you're writing, right before you even record, you and that person, y'all need to write everything out right then. You know, like, okay, this is 50%. Like when I, shout out to Glenn Thornton, that's my writing partner.
Yes,
Slag Max.
Records.
Right. What we do is, we, of course, when we're writing, I date everything. Okay, this is what it is, title, this is a name, and we register that sucker right there. Like, so we don't forget anything, because we know what's coming out.
Yes.
So we go right here, boom, boom, and we register it.
See, we just learned some drop knowledge right here. So now when we sit down writing, boom.
You know
right
why? Because
away.
you know you're going to release it.
Because you neglect.
So don't wait, because you'll forget, because you're a label on, you do all the thing. You have kids. We have kids. You know what I mean? Life gets the best of you and you will forget. Because I remember one time I had to literally sit there and register about 30 songs. I kid you not, because I was behind. So I'm like missing money, you know what I mean? Wondering, and then I'm like, oh snap, I did not register these songs. So when you're writing, you should do your copy. Everything should be right then and there, so you don't forget. It may be a pain in the butt, but you have to do that. So y'all, when y'all writing together or you're doing something, just go on CSAC, whatever you do, and boom, register it. Right?
Well, I love hearing that. Yeah. So I know our time is coming to a close here, but I had to talk about the new album. We have to talk about
now. See,
yeah. So
he always said we got time, but we're gonna run overtime tonight.
I know it.
So.
But we have to talk about the album because it's coming up. HoneycombMusicStore.com. And
thank you.
yes, getting some accolades. Thank you. I want to know what people and your fans and followers can expect. This is your first album, Dawn. I don't even understand how that's possible, but it is. So with this debut LP, what can fans and followers look forward to? And what was your process in terms of putting that together?
Okay. So this album is very personal.
Yes.
Very personal. Every song is a testimony.
Yeah.
And it really is. Every song, shout out to I always got to say, shout out to Josh Milan, because he was really my voice when I couldn't speak. When I was going through a divorce and really in a dark place, he was there. God really placed him in my life to be able to write and say what I was going through. You know what I mean? And also, we wanted to go a different direction because people know me for all of that. They think, let's keep it real. A lot of people don't know that I'm on smooth jazz projects, and I'm on a Grammy-nominated project. Yes. People don't know that I do like other smooth jazz and other kinds of music. So with this album, we wanted to give them the whole spectrum of who Dawn Tallman is. Dawn Tallman is not just a four to the floor. I do it all. So this album has some R&B, I did Cyndi Lauper's True Colors over.
Okay. You did a beautiful job.
And it just has some interludes, some really pretty stuff. Of course, there's some house music stuff. Shout out to Louis Vega. He did a song. DJ Spin did a song. And then the rest is all, Josh Milan. But I'm so excited. And, I mean, you guys already know For Me and Celebrate. So that's already touching the lives of so many people.
Well, we saw that tonight.
Yeah.
We saw that really tonight, especially when you sang that song For Me.
Oh, that is an anthem. But just expect a whole bunch of emotion. Right. Really. You're going to go from probably crying to dancing and back to crying again while you're dancing. So it's coming soon. Shout out to Honeycomb Music, Adam, Cruz. Listen, I appreciate you guys so much.
Oh, we appreciate you.
I'm going to have to come back and do another interview because we need like 2 hours.
Because we got decades. We got decades of stuff to talk about. Trips, world travel, all of that stuff.
And it's so much I could really talk about. I talk about how I don't like interviews, but once I start talking, I babble on because it's so much. I have such a story to tell, and I think people will really be blessed by my story. And I know you asked me about a book, but I think my story is in the music. In the music that I sing, and whenever I sing it, it's never the same.
Right. Well, girl, I can just say you are traveling and I can put it from the Pentagon to Russia to China.
I will be at the Pentagon. Yes.
So you're just doing it all, and you're going into places that I figured that you never dreamed that you
Oh no,
would
I
be
never.
going into.
I've been all over the world. And never dreamed of. You know what I mean? There's mainstream artists who haven't even gone where I've gone, who've never had a #1 Billboard, nothing. You know, never went napkin. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, I'm worthy. Now I'm worthy. I know. That's why I said there had to come a time in my life where I felt worthy, and that's why I said I celebrate myself. I give myself a hand, and I choose to be happy because I'm worthy. So I'm taking this all in. I'm still humble, but I know that I'm worthy of all of this. Now, I worked hard. I worked my butt off to get here. This wasn't just something that somebody handed to me. I had to work to get to this point. And it wasn't easy. I wanted to give up. There was times where it was rough. I didn't know where the next gig was coming from, but I really trusted God. And you see where I am today. You know? So just be encouraged. Do your homework. If you out there and you want to sing and you don't know, start in the church. I'm serious. Or if you're in school, you don't go to church, sing in your school choir. That's how you get a foundation to sing. Go on YouTube, watch some music. You know what I mean? You have to start somewhere. You can't just think you can sing and then you're gonna be on, you know, on American Idol tomorrow.
It's a craft.
You have to study your craft and learn it. And don't have a big head. You got to be humble and take direction and constructive criticism from people. I still have to do it too. As much as I've been, you know, everything that I do is not right. So I have people that my team say, no, wait a minute, you got, you know what I mean? And I have to eat that. And you know, I could be like, well, I'm doing Tallman. You don't tell me what, you know. But you have to be humble. So I just want to say thank you guys.
And it's all for the better of the project.
Yes, I agree. And I also want to let people know there's a lot of here, but I want people to understand a few things here as takeaway. If you're an artist, if you're a DJ, a music enthusiast, a promoter, you want to get down with independent music or any kind of music, I think there's a few things here that you should learn. One thing is develop a foundation. So get that craft in. If you're a singer, go to join that church choir or that school choir or get creative in some way. Also, learn those hard lessons early and fast. Fail fast so that you can learn and be successful when you get to the point where, okay, I got to get my business affairs together. Do your homework. Do that due diligence. So sign up for those services like ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, Sound Exchange. Understand what's happening in the music business by tuning into shows like the Freedom Radio Hour and others. And I think be a student of your craft. That means understanding that you always are in an opportunity to learn something. And I think one of the many things I love about you, Dawn, is your ability to show different characters in your voice. Like you could be Bob Sinclair, Feel the Vibe. You can be pop. You can be soulful. You can be... And I think that's a craft. You have to work at that to get that style, get the ability to sound the way that you sound, depending on what you're singing, because you're not giving it exactly the same from project to project. You really take in what is a sound, and then you adapt a vocal sound to that.
Real quick, I had to really work that, because when I first, came out, I was known as just, like the gospel loud voice, the belter, and, and I had to like kind of prove to people and show them like, listen, I can do more than that. Like, you can hire me to sing some jazz, or you can, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I had to work that craft.
Yes.
And now I'm singing on all kinds of projects and doing all kinds of things, traveling all over the world, singing jazz, doing all kinds of stuff. So.
Well, I love it. Definitely check out DawnTallman.com and, of course, HoneycombMusicStore.com for me, Celebrate Myself, and the forthcoming album. What's the name of your album? Do you know?
For me.
All right, make it your business to check out Eddie Nicholas. His brand new Do You Want to Dance LP is out everywhere. Check out DJAdamCruz.com for more of my fantastic music. And we have a brand new single from Miss Shonda D. Nicholas entitled Get My Life. Check that out. Jacqueline Graham has a brand new Jacqueline EP. And we have more, courtesy of mixtapesessions.com. Of course, shout out to our capitalradio.com family and our dwildmusicradio.com families. All right, y'all, have a great weekend and a great week ahead. We'll see you next time.
And before we go, one of the things that we neglected to say is that in the midst of doing your business, surround yourself with people that believe in you.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You have to have a team. If it's only one, I'm telling you, one person could take you where you need to go. You're one person away from reaching your goal. You got to have a team, not no yes people. You need people that's going to tell you what you're doing right or doing wrong, like I said, you know what I mean? So y'all have who you have. I have my team. I got Glenn, I got Josh, I got y'all.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You gotta surround yourself with positive people that are gonna tell you for your own good. I had to learn. I matured over the years. Y'all saw those outfits.
Well, as I say, you're seasoned. You're seasoned. All right,
I'm warming up different faces and different hair.
Sorry, we love to laugh, y'all. We be having fun.
Love you so much. All right, with my brother here, Eddie Nicholas.
Lord have mercy. We're going to sign out now.
Yes.
But we are so grateful that you have joined us on this segment of the Freedom Radio Hour. 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan, DY Music Radio, and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Adam, myself, Dawn.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Look.
Later, y'all.